Have you ever wondered why your Roblox game is not taking off? Well, let me tell you in today's video, because I'm going to be playing one of the three biggest Roblox games in history and why they've all died, starting with Steal a Brain Rot. As you can see, it has 229,000 concurrent players. It just went down, matter of fact. And the reason this game is doing so poorly is because, and you should also take note of this if you're trying to make a viral Roblox game, it is way too repetitive. If you ever are going to start making a viral Roblox game, please don't make it this repetitive, because the point of this game is, well, to wait for decent brain rots to come spawn and then buy them. But let's be honest, nobody even cares about these types of brain rots if you're decently far in the game. You want decent brain rots, right? But when is that ever going to happen? Because the brain rots that you really need have like a 1 in 5,000 chances unless you join from the admin abuse. That's literally the only reason that people still play. If there was no admin abuse, I would be telling you instantly this game would be dead way more than it already is. Let's just say this brain rot. It's one of the rarest brain rots that it's pretty rare. But the chances of that spawning is like 1 in a million. It will never probably spawn. Well, it can't spawn, but even it won't normally spawn anyway. So that's why people quit. It's too repetitive. So if you are ever going to try to make a actually good Roblox game, the reason it's probably failing is, again, it's too repetitive. Because what's to do in this game? Get the trash brain rots unless something good spawns, which will never happen. Or you go to the shop and spend Robux, and not everybody has Robux. So another thing that you should know is don't be way too pay to win in your Roblox games, because not everybody has Robux, and if it's not a good enough game, nobody will even buy it. And now the second game, at its peak, it got over 20 million players. Grow a Garden. Everybody give it up, because we all know we've been there, and we all know that we used to play this game. Now, what's the reason for this game that it died? Well, basically the same thing. You go to the seed shop, you go to this sand guy, and then look how many seeds that they added. It's so repetitive. It's the same thing where you just gotta wait, and oh gee, nothing good spawns. Well, let's just wait 5 more minutes by freaking gardening. What are you supposed to garden? Pick up this stuff? And I used to love this game. I'm gonna be honest, I really did. But it's just too repetitive. This is all you do in the game. Now, the only other thing you can do is go and, again, spend Robux. And nobody really wants to do that. And some people don't do that. So, they don't have Robux. Now, a thing that I do enjoy better about Grow a Garden than Steal a Brain Rot is there's way more things to do. There's a variety. If you're going to start a Roblox game, this is what you want it to be like. Instead of just farming, you can go to pet eggs and you can get gear and cosmetics and crafting. But the one thing that I think this game failed at was just lacking a purpose. Because now in a few more months after the game released, let's compare this game to Garden Horizons. This game has no animations. It's quite vague. And it's sure, there's a lot of things to do, but once you do all of that and you play for, a day, it gets really boring. And, now, all you have to do is wait for seeds. And then you gotta plant them and wait, 15 hours to grow. And now, see how this game is now. It's not as, popular as Steal a Brain Rot now, but it probably will last longer than Steal a Brain Rot. Because Steal a Brain Rot's just the same old thing. At least Grow a Garden had some decent stuff to do. But Garden Horizons is basically Grow a Garden's child. This is what if you are starting a Roblox game, this is probably what you want it to be like. Because look, if you are going to make a remake of the game, it's not an exact copy, but apple seeds. Look at the animations. The animations are super nice. Then it's way just cleaner to play. It's basically the same, but also different. And you want to give the players not the same exact thing. So if you are thinking about creating a game that's adaptation of a different game, this is what you want to do. You want to make it better, because nobody's going to play your game if it's an adaptation of a game, but it's not even as good as the other game. Now finally, now to Dead Rails, the third game that used to be super popular and died. And I think you can start to see a trend here, because out of all the 3 games that we played, every single one of them is way too repetitive. Let's go to Dead Rails. It is super repetitive too. I can guarantee you. Now, the thing that, if you really want to make a game that will blow up, Dead Rails would probably be your best friend here, because this game, though very repetitive, did their best to try to survive. This is what you should do if you're making a Roblox game. You should first make it have a decent plot. Make sure to do it. If it's an adaptation, make it obviously better. But if it's not, if it's your own Roblox game, and it's failing, but it's already good, you gotta make sure it's good. People would want to play it. Make sure there's not too much pay-to-win stuff. Make sure it's not too repetitive. I know it's hard to do, but even with Dead Rails, you can notice the same thing. This is all you do every single game, is go to the trading post, do that. But the thing that they did good is they added game modes that were actually cool. Unlike the other two games that added game modes that made it feel like you just had to grind, this game actually added game modes that made you want to play, not necessarily grind for anything, which is quite cool, actually. Which is why I respect this game more than the other two. Sadly, it never got to its peak potential, but this is the biggest mistake. I saved the biggest for last. The biggest mistake small Roblox creators make. It's that they do not, and I will repeat that, they do not update their game enough. What do you mean? What's enough, quietnyte? Enough is 2 to 3 times at least every month. Probably more. Let's go to the creator of this game, Rico Miller. He did not do this. Let's go to Rico Miller. This guy right here did not update enough. I'm sorry, but he didn't. That's why the game died. Because I genuinely have a feeling if they started adding more enjoyable updates, which they did a pretty good job of that, tried to make it a little bit less repetitive, because let's be honest, it's the same thing. You're driving in a train and then you get different classes to help you with that. But it's not horribly repetitive. But update, like Garden Horizons, this is like the peak. If you want to copy any game, just combine Garden Horizons and Dead Rails, like not as a game, but to follow, because this game is doing what its predecessor GAG did, because they're doing admin boost. That's going to pull in a lot of players, and they're doing updates, which is going to pull in a lot of players, and then they're actually doing updates decently good, because Rico Miller did it every 3 months. It wasn't that good. That's why the game died. So overall, I'm just going to say, if you are trying to create a Roblox game, avoid from it being repetitive, avoid being way too pay to win, update a lot. And you can take Steal a Brain, Grow a Garden, and Dead Rails. At the peak of their prime, had over 10 million probably each. And now look at them, 16,000, 200,000, and 30,000, which is kind of depressing compared to the numbers they used to pull. Now, one more little thing before I end the video. Please subscribe to quietnyte, by the way, and like this video if you want. But this is Rivals, and this will be your best friend. Scratch everything else I said. This game has been around for about 2 years now, and it's still ranking in crazy numbers for how long it is. Why? Because you might be thinking it's so repetitive, quietnyte. They keep doing the same things. Yes, but while Dead Rails added new classes, that don't cost any skill, you just have to grind for them. You still have to grind for these, but you can use skill to unlock the guns, snipers, shotguns that you use. And then it makes it fun to go against other people. So, let's be honest, if you really want to start making a good game, you should probably do a shooter game, if you know how to create good weapons. Because then, it's way funner. Instead of going through a load of NPCs, go do a shooter game against actual people. Because now you can fight them, you can do duos, you can do squads, you can do rank. That uploads loads of stuff. And then on top of all of that, they have classic game modes, fun game modes, new game modes every day basically, I'm pretty sure. Which is just insane. So that's why this game is doing so well. And then they have rank, they have battle passes. I don't think they needed to add that. But that's just more grinding, and you want to balance it out between fun, and do you also want them to grind so people will start paying more Robux so they can skip the grinding and they will start playing more time to grind. So if you want to get a successful game, make sure there's Robux, but not too much Robux. Make sure there's skill involved is what I'd say. And then make sure it's a decent game. Make sure it's not like bad, because nobody's going to play, a bad game. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe if you liked this video.